Hey everyone, as always, thank you for taking your time to watch this. I really do appreciate it. All right, so real quick, I just got back home from a maintenance walk and I wanted to go over a couple things. If you're new to this, perhaps you haven't thought of, and if your owners ever have to tell you this, it's their building, it's their investment, they care about it, but they shouldn't have to tell you how to care for the property. That's your job. So a couple things I've learned over the years that I wanted to share with you guys in regards to preventative maintenance. So it's really simple. Trash attracts rodents and pests and everything. So it is very, very hard to train a community if you have trash everywhere. And there's several reasons for this. Maybe you have children that throw it. Maybe you have a playground and no trash can next to it. Maybe you have too many residents and not enough dumpsters. There's all kinds of reasons trash can end up all over your property. Maybe the place next door, the apartment complex next door is a mess, and every time the wind blows, it comes into your property. I've had that happen to me. So it doesn't matter what the cause is, take 5 minutes every time you clock in and walk your property and pick up the trash. I used to have a guy that it would drive him nuts that the leaves are on the ground. Leaves are plants, they fall from trees, they're supposed to be on the ground. Trash is never supposed to be on the ground. So pick up trash. If you have a pest problem in your community, that might be the reason. If you don't, it might be the reason you get one. So keep your trash off the ground, keep your dumpster areas clean, your trash areas clean. Another thing that can attract pests too is if you have a lot of cats, like a lot of wild cats on your property, people might want to leave food for them out, and that too will attract pests. So if that's in your rules, it's definitely something I would enforce. It can be a humanitarian issue, so be careful about it. I'm a cat lover myself. My kitties are on my feet as we speak, but no one wants to live with roaches and rats and stuff like that. So those are some things that cause them. Also, speaking of pests, keep an eye on your shrubbery and your trees and the plants. You don't want them touching the buildings. If you have a tree and its limb has grown over onto a building, anything, a possum, you name it, can climb up that and use it to get into the building. And he just made a house inside of your attic now, and you made a nice little walkway for him. So keep your plants off your buildings. Try to keep in one time, I've been doing this a while, I've seen a couple fun things, and I'm here to share with you. I had a bum. I had a very large bougainvillea tree. It was probably, I don't know, the size of a really large truck. See, look at my kitty, he coming to help me right now. And this bum had gone where the bougainvillea went up against the fence, and he carved himself out a nice little cave, and that's where he lived until finally I said, "Hey, gardener, that bush is too big. Let's cut it down." We literally found a bum in our bush. So that couldn't have happened if that bush was kept trimmed back in the first place. So some things I've learned I would love to share with you guys. I don't know what this is right here. I don't know. Let's fix it. All right. We went over that. Sprinklers. So as always, keeping costs down is gonna make you look like a rock star, okay? And I'll go over in a do and a don't video things that are bad habits. One of them is if someone tells you, "Hey, I have a leak," and you do nothing. Even if you can't fix the leak immediately, turn that water off, open the cabinets out, get air in there. Okay, we'll go through that, okay? But water can destroy things quickly. It's also going to run your bills up. Some people might say, "Oh, what's a leaky faucet cost?" Go online and Google it. It costs money. A running toilet, it costs money. Another big thing is sprinklers. And sometimes people have done conversions and they go to a drip system. Those break a lot. And when they break, the amount of water that comes out of them is just as much as the other ones. So on those systems, they need a lot of maintenance. However, the point is, preventative maintenance, keep an eye on your sprinklers. Look, you can tell if something's broken, if you have like sand and stuff and you can tell that it was flowing, the water was flowing. You might have a sprinkler there. I made it a point once a month to have my maintenance person check all the sprinklers. And at one property I had, it was actually my job to go with him and do it, because in that particular property, we had leaks all over the place all the time almost. You know, it was an older property. We had to fix things. All right, so lastly, pay attention to your building, your wood and your paint, your roofing. Just pay attention to how it looks. You can tell when wood is starting to go bad, and unless you get on it immediately, it's only going to get exponentially worse. I've worked for places, unfortunately, that couldn't afford to maintain their buildings, and until things broke, they weren't able to be fixed. So we would notice the wood rotting off the side of the building, and I couldn't fix it. You know, so that's really hard when a resident is telling you things to that magnitude or that bad and you can't fix it. Furthermore, the piece that's doing whatever it's doing, oh, it's also causing rain to come in my unit, you know, so there's so much, it'll make so much more work. And then I'm also going to make another video for you guys. When you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that might be good to think about and to ask before you consider taking over the property. All right, if you guys have any other things to add, I'm sure other people can find use out of it. So thank you again for your time. Have a great day.